Gotta ask the good question. Peyton Manning, 2013 season, or Tom Brady's 2007 season, which was more devastating in terms of the way they lost and who had the statistical standpoint? How do you remember it? Well, one thing about the NFL, being a league MVP and passing for like yards and stats does not guarantee you a chip because both these quarterbacks came up on the empty hand. Brady had a perfect record going to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Broke records. Actually, it wasn't his fault in that Super Bowl because that ball could have been intercepted on that third down on that second down play. Should have been. And he did throw for the drive to Moss with 2 minutes to go in the game. He actually did his part for the most part. If you're asking me who looked the worst at the end, the loss of the Patriots, but not because of Brady in that one. He balled. Peyton Manning had that broke start off with the 7 touchdowns against the Ravens game one, and only broke Brady's touchdown mark and only had 10 picks. But that loss to Seattle in the Super Bowl 43-8 took him out of discussion for any conversation amongst being the top 3 or 4 greatest quarterbacks. I think he'll never be at the table with Mahomes, Brady, and Montana. Unless, of course, Mahomes ends up losing about 4 or 5 Super Bowls, then we can revisit that. But I don't think Mahomes will lose 4 or 5 Super Bowls. That's the only way. Because Peyton Manning had 2 bad Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowls where he was mediocre. So he wasn't even mediocre in that last one when they beat Carolina. He just was asked not to mess up. So this is a good question. Which one? Well, obviously because the Patriots didn't finish with a perfect season. But if you're asking me which individual, their MVP season when they broke records was harder, I'd have to say Peyton Manning. The way he lost to Seattle after the beat New England and going to that Super Bowl, he looked like he didn't even belong on that field. I mean, Seattle's defense just tore him up, and he just looked lost. I mean, it was really abysmal. It was one of those situations where uh, you just kind of like shook your head. You didn't really know what to think, what to make of it. Um, it just was one of those situations where you just was kind of dumbfounded. Um, nowhere else I could really put it to work to use. Um, you know, um, it was it was strange to say the least. It was just one of those things where it's kind of like, wow, did you even bother? Because you just look like you were just defeated before you had a chance to even get defeated. You were already defeated. So I think from an individual, for considering the type of season he had, his was far more disastrous. And they had to get tough too because they got punched in the mouth by Seattle, so they had to get physical again. Whereas Brady's was heartbreaking, and they lost the Giants again a few years later, but they did regroup years later and won back won 3 more in New England before he won his last one in Tampa. But as a team, it was more disappointing for New England. But individually, I think Peyton Manning, uh, the way that season ended with him breaking those records and the way they lost was far more because it just like he just looked lost in that Super Bowl. He went from looking like an elite guy to looking like a scrub. I mean, he just looked bad in that Super Bowl. So, by the way, tell me what you think though. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Remember, the question wasn't just about the team; it was with the individual quarterback. Which one had a great season but looked very disappointing at the end. And Brady did put New England a chance to win that game. Peyton Manning looked brutal in that game against Seattle. But you tell me what you think below. We'll take your comments. I'm out.